is the number one seed in the AFC playoffs. Cleveland falls to 6-6. Packers over the Rams, 36-28. Green Bay's 9-3, 5-0 at home. They're the number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs. Rams are 7-4 with their third straight loss. Patriots over the Titans, 36-13. New England's won 6 in a row. They're leading the AFC East, and they're the 2 seed in the AFC playoffs. Both teams are at 8-4. Buccaneers beat the Colts 38-31. Tampa Bay improves to 8-3. On the season, Bengals beat up on the Steelers 41-10. Broncos beat the Chargers 28-13. 49ers over the Vikings 34-26. Eagles lose to the Giants 13-7. Dolphins to beat the Panthers 33-10. It was the Falcons over the Jaguars 21-14, and the Jets beat the Texans 21-14. College football news: Lincoln Riley has left Oklahoma. He'll be the next head coach at USC. I'm Eddie Garcia.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen. Early break, full show ahead. Big, full, packed sports weekend. We have lots to get to in terms of coaches fired, coaches hired, games that were won and lost by teams, some surprises this weekend. Sip, how are you this fine Monday morning?
Better than usual.
That's good. You get some rest this weekend or what?
Yeah, I did. The off season's upon us. I have mixed emotions about that. Mixed emotions about the off season. It's kind of the new season, and that there's going to be a lot to cover. Nebraska's coaching changes, which we're already starting to get some pretty good info on, and then the transfer portal stuff.
Yes.
And Adrian's got a big decision that's probably looming this week. So a lot going on there.
Yes, there
Hey,
is.
you got a hat on. Why do you got a hat on?
I feel like my face looks really pale on the stream, so I'm trying to help that out by wearing a hat. I usually don't care at all about my looks, but for some reason,
That's just really
you
uncharacteristic.
look good with your hat, and then I'm just like this white, pale face over here. So the hat's going to help me out there.
Well, we have.
Well,
We have the same hat on, which is a little
I
odd.
have light hair.
Yeah.
And it's balding also, so it shines a little bit and makes the screen like the flash from a camera when you see my face.
Do we need Harrison to join the cap club?
Yes.
Wear a ball cap.
Yes. The answer is yes to
He
that
has a
question.
full head of hair. He's the only one in the building right now.
Yeah.
with
Well,
a
he's
full
also
head of hair.
22. And,
Yeah.
I'm 30. I have less of an excuse than you do. You're 55. I'm 30. He's got more. He has more hair than he can handle over there.
I think we got to rename that segment we do, Aging Gracefully, to Aging Quickly.
Oh boy.
And you can join.
I can join in on that. Yeah.
I think you have a good idea. I like the cap look. It's funny to me that you are that concerned.
It's the first time I've really been concerned about my looks.
You are kind of like a lighthouse in the
I know.
night.
I know. I don't want to be the lighthouse all the time. I want to be normal.
Ships could see you and know where to go.
Yeah, exactly. Where's Jake? Go find him. Beam him. 402-464-5685. Call or text the show. As always, you can watch and comment also on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Of course, this show is sponsored by Gaina Trucking. Check out their current job openings at GainaTrucking.com. All right, so Nebraska played, of course, on Friday. Sip, Nebraska, as you said before the show, it feels like that was like a week ago. It feels like it was a long time ago. It was still just 3 days ago. Nebraska led 21-6 against Iowa and 21-9 going into the fourth quarter. We all know the story that happened then. It blocked punt for a touchdown, gave Iowa new life. Nebraska folded after that, pretty much.
Well, they got there was the safety.
That was after the block punt, yeah.
Right, and a fumble, Logan Smothers fumbled right in direct succession. I mean, so right after the blocked punt for a touchdown. They come back and Nebraska has a safety and gets a safety. Logan's tackled in the end zone and throws the ball as he's being tackled, and it's a intentional grounding, which is then a safety, and then he fumbles on the ensuing possession. Iowa makes the comeback. It's all a little, what I wrote and what I feel, it's all a little too predictable.
Yeah.
Nebraska outplays Iowa for 3 quarters, looks much of the afternoon like the better team. But when the block occurs, and Scott addressed it after the game, he said he looked at his kids and they looked okay, but he even wondered, is this going to be okay? What's going to happen next? And you have a new quarterback out there who suddenly, now Logan Smothers played well, admirably well most of the day, but suddenly he's under pressure and the whole thing changes.
Yep.
Right? Everything changes when the heat comes, right? Now the momentum's going against you. The element of surprise is gone. Nebraska benefited from the element of surprise, but now it's the fourth quarter, and here comes Iowa. They're right on you. And now how is your team going to respond?
And as you said, very, very predictable what happened. Sad because Nebraska, again, like they happen in every game, was in it. They led by 15 points in the second half. They led by 12 going into the fourth quarter on your home field. And this is what we talked about all week long, Sip. The biggest difference, there's some differences, but the biggest difference between Iowa and Nebraska is special teams. They are elite. Nebraska is putrid. And it showed up in one big play to change everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with you. After this game.
I'll say it again. Elite, putrid.
Right.
Putrid on this side. Putrid.
Right. I think Scott is now inclined, and he hasn't said it publicly, but everything I'm hearing behind the scenes suggests that he is definitely inclined to hire a dedicated special teams coach, a coach who will coach only special teams. And I think, listen, there's no guarantees in that's going to change.
You're right.
It.
There's not.
Bruce Reed was
yes.
a dedicated special teams coach under Mike Riley, and it's not like they had flawless special teams, but it would, at this point, you need to change something.
Something's got to be addressed.
Yeah, you need to change something at this point. And then the other factor is, there would be pitchforks. The fan base, like it would be a horrible PR move if Scott just said, no, we're going to do it like we've always done.
Mm-hmm.
No, he can't do that. I don't think at this point you can do that. Now, to be fair, there was just one. They just blew an assignment on that play. It's a very interesting discussion. To me, I say, well, you have to get it so they don't blow an assignment. And Iowa, on the other hand, now this is where it gets interesting to me. The guy who blocked that punt, Marchese is his name. And he said after the game, we had worked on that all week. We saw that if they were on the left hash, that we could get to them in this certain way. So that's called coaching, right? That's
awareness and coaching.
Okay, so I want you to put yourself in the shoes of Iowa players, okay? All right. Now think about this. Think about it. Henry Marchese is the guy's name. And he said they talked a lot of the week about how if Nebraska's in this certain spot on the left hash, that we know we can get to them. And what they did basically was the guy, they have the shield and the guy on the left-hand side. Iowa took that shield member out, basically giving Marchese a clear path to the punter. So number 13 for Iowa coming off the edge knew he wasn't going to be impeded. So he came like a missile because they had worked on that all week. All right. Now think about how that team feels. Okay, we worked on this all week and boom, it just worked. Now think about the injection of confidence for Iowa.
It took over.
The coaches told us this would work. It worked, and look what happened. We get a touchdown out of it.
Yeah, that's just a block. You scored on the play.
Yeah, ball pops up in the air, and Kyler Fisher grabs it and goes in.
It seemed
that's
like
coaching.
I know, and it seemed like on that play they were so confident that it wasn't. They could have had like 4 guys that blocked that kick, right?
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm saying this though.
No, there was one guy.
Well, let me say that they got right through that Nebraska line, and there was a lot of guys near the football.
No, there wasn't. There was one
Really?
guy. No, it was Marquise.
I'll watch the kid, but
Yeah.
it feels like there's a lot of guys. that
watch
were
it.
back-
Watch
okay.
it. I mean, they rushed like you do, but there was a shield. There
It
was
just felt like there was pressure right away there.
there was one guy that got through, and that was the deal, and that was what they worked on, and boom, there it is. And now you're like, oh God. I mean, I think everybody felt that, right?
Yeah, well, that was me in the state, not in the stands, but watching, saying this is how this goes south, and there was still plenty of time left.
21-9.
You're up at that point.
Oh,
You're,
it's 21-16.
yeah, you're still up by 5. You're still up by 5, and you felt like the game was over. That's the sad part about Nebraska, is that even when you're leading, if something like that happens, you feel like here we go again. And in fact, it was here we go again.
Well, and then what happened was, Iowa kept pressing on the next possession. I first of all, I got to check that, make sure I got Henry Marchise's name right. Yeah, hold on. I'll get it. Marchese. Yes, Henry Marchese. That's exactly right. So Henry Marchese blocks the punt, and we all know the feeling everybody got. But then Iowa kept pressing, right?
Yes, as they should.
Right.
They had the momentum.
Right.
They're trying to win a division title, which they did, by the way.
On the next possession, Logan Smothers made his first major mistake of the game, losing a fumble while trying to make a handoff, right?
Yes, yep.
All right. And the defense held, forced a punt, and Oliver Martin made a fair catch at the 7. Now, I think that's okay.
I was fine with that.
Okay. Yeah, I wondered about what you thought about that.
There's a chance that
gray
ball gets
area.
closer to the 1,
Yeah.
It's a gray area, but
Yeah.
I saw a lot of guys in the NFL yesterday making fair catches inside the 10.
Yeah, I didn't think that was the problem. The problem, what happened after that was the problem, which was Smothers was called for intentional grounding as he's being sacked in the end zone.
Yeah, that's
Safety.
the problem.
Now it's 21-18, right? And now the outcome's beginning to feel excessively predictable, right?
Yep.
I would,
And you're still leading. You're
21-18.
still up by 3, but
21-18.
we know how this ends.
Yeah,
But Iowa doesn't even take. They tied the game with a field goal, though.
I know.
They didn't take the lead with a touchdown. They did eventually, but they tied it up first at 21-all before they did the touchdown.
Well, what happened pretty soon brings up a whole another conversation, which is Nebraska's defense has been leaky against the run. And what happened? Tyler Goodson dashes 55 yards to the 14.
That's right.
Goodson, as I expected, was a problem. 23 attempts, 156 yards. He's a good back. He's not Braylon Allen. By the way, Minnesota stuffed up Braylon Allen.
He did.
But
they did, excuse me.
But Tyler Goodson, went to the 14, and a short time later, Iowa went up 28-21 with 2:58 left. Smothers had the guy to come back, and that's just not.
He had a drive. They had a drive,
Yeah.
but it ended in an ugly interception at the goal line, which nobody was in the area for Nebraska. It felt like.
Right. What happened was Levi Falk had a. It's a choice to either run a post route or break it off and go to the corner, or just break it off. He broke it off. He broke off the route. Smothers thought he'd kept going. I'm not sure whose fault that is. Frost said they worked on it. They worked on that play 1,000 times. My guess is it's Smothers' fault. I don't know that. So there you go. And Iowa intercepted a pass. Go figure. That's what they do.
Yes, they do.
Right. So it all felt, what I said in the outcome is it all felt a little too predictable for my liking.
But it's just sad that in saying that, Nebraska led this game in the second half by 15 points.
I know.
Like if it's close the whole way and it ends like that, okay, well then it's more predictable. The fact you were overcoming some demons in this early on to take a 15-point lead against a nemesis for you recently in the Hawkeyes, who now have beat you 7 straight times.
But was it really surprising to you that Nebraska was ahead? Was that?
But 21-6?
That was predictable to me. Yeah, I thought Nebraska had a great chance to win the game.
I didn't think they'd be up by double digits at any point, really. I thought they'd be, 20, but up by 15 points.
Yeah.
They look good.
They were in control.
They were in control.
So this is what drives you nuts, right? They're in control of that game for 3 quarters. And for much of the game looked like the better team.
Yep.
But what I mean by predictable is what does Iowa do? I bet they literally say, hey guys, Nebraska, they'll botch this. They'll botch this.
They'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Let them take it from them.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get some turnovers. Maybe we'll make a big play in special teams, and we'll get them. Just wait. Just be patient, guys. Be patient. Be patient.
They'll give it to you.
Be patient. Be patient. Then boom, pounce.
Told you. Now go take it.
Yeah.
It's a very sad feeling as a Nebraska
and it's very
fan.
predictable. But I will say this. It's fascinating, Jake. I watch people really close after those games and just in general. And first of all, the stadium was alive. It felt like Nebraska was playing for the division title, which, by the way, congratulations to the Iowa Hawkeyes, champions of the Big Ten West. How about that, by the way? 10-2, 7-2.
I think I saw we'll get to Michigan next segment, but I think they opened as 10.5-point underdogs in that game to Michigan.
But what I was going to say is contrast that stadium, which was full and throaty. I mean, that was loud. That was a loud crowd on Friday in Lincoln. Contrast that to Texas, where there's at least 30,000 empty seats.
Oh, I think it's more than that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was ugly.
Thank you for saying
that. Was a horrifying scene for them.
It was officially 25,000 empties. But I looked at it and said, there's more.
No way.
Right. So contrast Nebraska. And what I was going to say is this. I'm walking out, or I'm walking to the interview area. I'm watching Nebraska fans closely, and they're pissed. I mean, they are pissed. It is not, we weren't expected to win. We're 3-9. This game didn't mean anything. No. That's not what I saw. I saw people that were pissed, and that's good. That is good, because the indifference is the worst.
Yeah. Well, they also were up by 15 points. They have a reason to be pissed about this.
Yeah. Indifference is bad. The fan base here is incredible. It was still engaged completely at the end of the game as Nebraska was trying to pull off the win. And then they were angry at the end, and that is only good. If you saw a Texas scene, that's trouble. That would get an AD's attention in a big way. Texas scene versus Nebraska scene. I mean, there's a lot of teams that if they were 3-9, there'd be nobody in the stands.
Yeah. Well, most teams, really.
Yeah, most.
Besides Nebraska and a couple other teams. Maybe
I don't even know who.
What teams out there besides Nebraska could fill the full stadium with a 3-8 team going into the game?
Right. We have to make sure we always keep that in mind here. These fans are incredible.
Yeah, but it's not guaranteed going forward. I mean,
it's never a guarantee.
They want to. You got to get results to make that happen going forward.
And part of the reason is Nebraska is the first team in college football history to lose 9 one-score games, single-digit games, 9 single-digit games. They kept playing.
Yeah,
and they didn't give up.
No, they didn't. Yeah, you didn't see a team that quit.
No, but I would say. Oh, we better get to Chris. Chris has been hanging.
Yeah, before I get to Chris,
hold on, Chris.
I'm sick.
Hold on.
This is the type of stat I'm sick of being lumped in with for Nebraska. This is from Matt Brown, a football writer for College Football. He says this is now the first time ever that Florida State, Texas, Nebraska, and USC will all finish a season with losing records. That's happened too often. Nebraska's lumped in with first time this and this and this has happened in the bad way.
Look at those places, though. Look at those places. Then compare where they are geographically to where we are geographically.
Right.
How do you do that at USC?
Well, they're not going to anymore.
No, they're not.
which we'll get to. Hang tight now.
Yeah, that's true.
Those days are done for USC.
Yes, they are.
Their trying times are about to end.
Here comes Pac-12 title after Pac-12 title
Coach
after
of the year.
Pac-12 title, and they will bury UCLA in the Westwood ground where they stand.
UCLA had their little chance there for a couple of years. It's over now.
Let's see. Okay, we get now. Chris will address Logan Smothers, but we really got to talk about Logan Smothers at some point.
We will. Let's get to Chris on the Honda Lincoln Hotline 402-464-5685. Chris, you're on early break. Good morning.
Say good morning, Steve Jake.
Thank you for being patient, Chris.
Oh, no problem, Steve. Well, Steve, you're exactly right. When I left that game and people although we had quite a few Iowa people up there in the West balcony.
That's wonderful.
A lot of Nebraska people sold out. I hate to say this, but hey, it's time we face some facts here. You're right, Steve. When I left that place and during that fourth quarter, which seemed like a living hell, I tell you what, I was pissed. I told you guys 3 weeks ago
Right.
that I expected to win this game. This Iowa team was beatable, and I would be disappointed if we did not win this game. Well, I tell you what, it went beyond disappointment living through that fourth quarter. You know, a 21-6 lead with 15 minutes and about 50 seconds left in the game, you know, and you cannot hold on to it. That is a loser's mentality. And that, you know, which right now is stinking up the football program over there. We had some, I was telling the producer there,
Harrison, yes.
we had a couple of Iowa guys behind us, pretty knowledgeable Iowa guys, and they were just patiently waiting.
Yes.
Patiently waiting.
Yes,
they said, it'll happen.
Yep.
It'll happen.
Yep.
They'll make a mistake. They'll screw up.
Yep.
You know, and sure enough,
boom.
you know, and one guy, the Nebraska guy behind me goes, you know, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. I said, turned to him. I said, only Alfred Hitchcock and Stephen King can make stuff up like this.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, Steve Jake, I'm to the point now. 9 losses, first time since 1957.
Right.
Are we showing any improvement from year 1 to the end of year 4? You know, the effort is there. The wins are not. I don't know. I don't want to hear that we're close anymore. I can see that for 2 or 3, 4 games to start the season. But when you're in game 12 and you're making the same mistakes, come on now. And the loser's mentality over there around that football program, you know, you can see it. You can feel it over there. You can feel it in the people in the stands. You know, and Steve Jake, Friday morning before the game, we talked about Ty Goodson, that he's hurt us. Yep. And sure enough, we let him, we turned him loose. He had over 150 yards, averaged about 7 yards a carry. You know, it's obvious in the Big Ten that it looks like you got to run the ball, which we can't do with our running backs, and you have to stop the run. Michigan, a wonderful game. Wonderful game. What a complete team they are. And I wish them luck down the line. 300 yards rushing against Ohio State, held Ohio State to 70 yards rushing, and they get a 15-point win. And I'm Steve Jake, I'm not a big fan of Michigan, but you know what? Hey, you know what? They deserve this one. I'll give it to Josh Perry on the Big Ten Network. He said 3 weeks ago, he says, Michigan to him, and he's an Ohio State alum.
That's amazing.
He says, Michigan is the most complete team in the Big Ten, and you got to agree. Perfect special teams, perfect defense against that. Hutchinson was a killer Saturday. But anyway, guys, hey, back to our game. You know, there's a lot to work on, and I'm worried about the future of this program. I've told you, Jake, you know, last summer that this is a 4, which we went below this year. It's a 9-win program.
Yeah, you're right.
At its peak. Yeah. And right now, I don't see a change in that. Next year, the schedule's a little strange. We go back up to Wisconsin. We go to Iowa. I believe we go to Michigan. We go to Purdue. We haven't proven we can beat Minnesota. Illinois is getting better. Rutgers has stopped piling talent out there in these recruiting classes. We got to go out there.
You always got fits,
and
though. You can
Oklahoma. So
Oklahoma.
I don't know, Steve Jake. I'm a frustrated fan, long-time season ticket holder and donor right now, and I don't like the way this thing's shaping up even for next year. But hey, listen, guys, I'm sorry to spew there, but I'm Steve. I'm one of those pissed off fans right now.
I hear. I saw him. Yeah. Now here's the thing. This staff knows it's got to happen next year. They got to turn on a dime basically, and they did catch a break with Oklahoma losing its head coach yesterday. That'll make I think that'll make that game easier. Depending on who they bring.
They're losing recruits already out of that.
Yeah.
Top 5-star running back decommitted already.
But I get it. I mean, I saw the anger, And but I'm going to keep saying it. That anger's good. I'm glad you're angry, because as a old girlfriend once told me,
boy, here we go.
Indifference is the worst thing. And
she's right.
right. I mean, you don't, if your girlfriend's indifferent, that's not good. You'd rather your girlfriend or your wife be angry. All right. Not indifferent.
Yep.
If you see indifference, then you better, I don't know, start packing your bags.
Skedaddle. Figure it out.
Vince.
It's a call from Vince in Napa, California. Vince, here on Early Break. Go ahead.
Good morning, fellas. How are you?
Vince,
Thanks
nice to hear your voice. How are you?
Well, as far as Wes is concerned, I'm fine. Life as a Husker fan, on the other hand, well, that's a whole other conversation.
Mm-hmm.
When the game was turning, whether it was the blocks punt, whether it was the safety,
mm-hmm.
where Logan Smothers gets sacked and intentional grounding in the end zone,
mm-hmm.
Even watching it on TV, it was palpable. It was like, oh my goodness, here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
But now I could sit here and talk about special teams until I'm blue in the face, which we obviously have, and I think I don't think there should even be a conversation that we need a dedicated special teams coach, because how many times do we have to watch game after game where we lose a game as at least in part as a result of a crippling special teams blow. But one thing that I also saw is, even when the game plan was going good offensively,
mm-hmm.
Even that was somewhat flawed, because how many carries did Logan Smothers have at halftime? About 14 or so?
Yeah.
We had 14 at halftime.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
14 and a half. But anyhow, when you don't have, like we've talked about all year long, a conventional running game, and your quarterback keeps taking hits like that, well, that's not sustainable. And to me, you look, now I know Chris alluded to the defense leaking oil and, the last couple weeks, but I think here's where the residual effect comes in. The residual effect that comes into not only the lack of a productive running game, but a lack of commitment to it, because when you're because the running game helps your entire team, from your quarterback run game to your play action run game to keeping your defense rested. And as a result, if they're more rested, they're more productive, but I would say really the last probably 3 or 4 play callers we've had, even going back to Bill Callahan, have all had one thing in common, is that if a game gets dicey, whether we're ahead by a couple of scores and the opponent chips away at it, or we suddenly fall behind by 1 score, it almost seems like they panic and go into a pass mode, but
yeah.
To me, that's where you have to stay patient with your running game, because when momentum is going against you, you have to stay patient. It's like, okay, maybe start to get a hold of this game a little bit, if I'm making any sense.
Yeah, you're making sense. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Vince. It's something where, again, we're all frustrated with what we see. That Nebraska is good in a lot of elements, and they just aren't good enough in other elements, and they can't get over the hump, and they just beat themselves consistently. And we're all frustrated. You heard the frustration in Chris's call before Vince even called in. He said he was pissed off. This fan base is pissed.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve better. They're seeing. Like I said, they're not indifferent. They are mad. This is not an indifferent fan base. They are, for the most part, I would say, when people I talk to, and you talk to, I assume,
mm-hmm.
are just mad because
Good.
They didn't sign up for this. This is not what they expect when they go fill up the stands at Nebraska at Memorial Stadium and cheer on the team. They could be like what you mentioned, other schools at 3-9 and have a half-empty stadium. That could easily happen here. It could. But fans show up because they expect more. And they are deservedly pissed about the results through 4 years, and especially here in year 4, going 3-9.
Sure. Meanwhile, there's Iowa, and Kirk Ferentz said something really interesting. We're not the prettiest car in the lot. We're talking about the Big Ten West champion now. Okay. Iowa wins the Big Ten West. He said, we're not the prettiest car in the lot. In college, you've got a car that can get you from point A to point B. But it's not much to look at. That's probably us. We're not the prettiest car in the lot, but at least we get from point A to point B pretty successfully most of the time. That's really what it's all about, getting there. I'm proud of these guys. He should be. He should be really proud. I mean, that he managed their deficiencies.
Yeah,
very well.
Sure did.
And for the people who kept telling me after my column, including our good friend Lance Leipold, come on, Sip, you're a little hard on Frost. He's playing with a backup quarterback. I was playing with a backup quarterback. Iowa played with a backup quarterback. I mean, I'm not giving them that excuse. I didn't hear anybody cutting Bo Pelini slack when he was down to quarterback number 3. I mean, no, you can't. That's not an excuse.
Petras did come back at halftime.
I know, but Padilla, they went to Padilla 2 games ago, whatever it was.
They did.
I mean, they had their backup quarterback in there. No, you got to win.
And you're up 21-6.
And what the Hawkeyes do is manage their deficiencies really well, and that's what coaching is. All teams have deficiencies. Alabama has deficiencies. Ohio State has deficiencies. You have to manage your deficiencies. Michigan has deficiencies. You got to manage them. That's what coaching is. That's a big part of what coaching is. Every roster has holes on it in America. Okay? Every roster in America does. They have problems. It's how you manage those problems. Nebraska didn't do a good job of it. What my problem is very simple. A coach's job is to maximize his team. They didn't maximize. No. It's not like it was horrible because they played a wicked schedule. Okay, it was wicked. It was more difficult than we thought it was going to be. Even then, they should have been better than 3-9, right? They didn't maximize. And that's, if I were one of the coaches, that's what would bother me the most, is we didn't get all we could out of this team. It's a pretty good team, but we didn't get all we could out of it. If you get all you could out of this team, you would have beat Iowa. If you would have,
you'd be in a bowl game.
Yeah, if you would have probably.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
You probably should have got them to 6 or 7.
Yeah, this team was talented enough to get 6-7.
Yeah, so that's what it kind of boils down to, and the reason I bring that up is because what Ferentz said about his team. We're not the prettiest car on the lot, he said. They're not.
No, but even right after the game ended on BTN, he was asked about that as well. Right as the game ended, he says, we're not a stats type of team. These guys are just resilient.
Yeah.
Basically same thing. He knows we're not going to go out there and have the sexiest stats and have all the flashy touchdowns. We're just not. But we're going to find a way to win the game. And they do more often than not.
I don't want to say, though, that Nebraska is not a tough-minded team. I don't want to say that. And I don't know that I completely agree with Chris that there's a loser's mentality. I don't know. I don't know if I want to say that.
There's something not right over there.
Yeah, I don't think that. But yeah, there's, as I've said a few times now in recent weeks, there's that ongoing conversation that pertaining to Frost. Is it just a defect in his coaching acumen that they can't get over the hump, or is that a sign that they're close? That's what we don't know. And you know what, though? Here's the deal, Chris and everybody else. We're gonna find out next year, and they got to turn it on a dime, or they're not gonna get much more time to do it.
When we come back, Sip's national title dream is dead. What happened? Up next, an early break in the ticket.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels & Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
Go ahead, let it sleet, let it slush, and let it snow. Because the pros at T.O. Haas Tire are ready to help you with a new set of tires guaranteed to get you through it all. Like the complete line of Michelin tires, including the X-Ice Snow Tire. And right now, you can get $70 back when you buy any 4 new Michelin tires at the T.O. Haas Tire near you.
T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust Sutter Heyman Jewelers says let it snow because a white New Year's Eve could mean free jewelry. Shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. And remember, shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sutter Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Lay the groundwork for more harvesting capacity when you order new John Deere combines and headers during Landmark Implement's early order program. Whether you're looking to improve your existing combine, corn head, or flex draper, or you've been wanting to update to a new model year, now is the time to upgrade. Get the very latest harvesting equipment and technology that fit your operations needs. Get your new John Deere harvest equipment built just the way you want. Contact your local Landmark Implement for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Here's to days spent roaming, and to sleeping beneath the stars, to casting another line and letting time float by. From Shadron State Park to Indian Cave State Park and every recreation area, historical, and state park in between. Here's to your adventures, your memories. Here's to 100 years of your Nebraska state parks. Plan your next trip today at NebraskaParks100.org. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for maintenance techs. They have needs for the 10B shift, Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m., the 12A shift, Saturday through Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and the 12B shift, Saturday through Monday from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Minimum 2 years experience in a fast-paced industrial environment is recommended to apply, and pay is based on experience. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. State football wrapped up at Memorial Stadium on Tuesday. In Class A, it was a defensive battle as Gretna won the game over Omaha Westside with the Ticket's Connor Happer on the call. It was a 1-yard QB sneak from quarterback Zane Flores that led to the only touchdown in a win for Gretna over Omaha Westside 7-3. This would be Gretna's first state football title. In Class B, Bennington won over Aurora 42-14. In Class C1, Columbus Lakeview edged out Pierce 37-25. This would also be the first state football title for Columbus Lakeview. In Class C2, Archbishop Bergen won its first title in 42 years over Norfolk Catholic, 49-20. In Class D1, Howells Dodge coasted to a win over Cross County, 42-12. In Class D2, Kensaw beat Sandhills, 46-40. In recruiting, Gabe Hendricks from Elkhorn South has committed to Notre Dame to compete in cross country and track. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jake.
In middle school, I ate Pop-Tarts for breakfast every single day.
Get more bizarre every day.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
How about Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines? Sip, this has got to feel good in your home field in a snowstorm.
I think it feels good.
Against Ohio State to win by 15, but also Sip 297 yards on the ground for the Wolverines. The offensive line mauled the defensive line and linebackers of Ohio State.
You're right.
And just trounced them. I mean, this is a 1-point lead at halftime, but the second half was all Michigan. In a 42-27 win, they are your Big Ten East champions. And right now, number 2 in the polls as of after that
That's
win.
all right. See, there's something.
And that scene, by the way, the scene after the game with everybody on the field at Michigan, 100,000 people down there, that was really cool.
Yeah, it was.
Really cool.
It was. Well, I mean, they broke a 8-game losing streak against Ohio State. Now, here's the deal, Jake. Here's the stat. The winner of the game, Ohio State, Michigan, the winner of the game, 20 straight times has more rushing yards than the opponent.
Whoa.
20 straight times. Okay. And you said it. Michigan, 297 rushing yards. Ohio State, 64.
That's right.
Now, it was interesting. When I turned on the TV and saw snow, I thought, oh, this is Michigan. This favors Michigan. But Joe Klatt during the game is saying, no, the snow favors Ohio State because the receivers know where they're going. No, Joel, that's wrong. That's just wrong.
I did hear that comment too. I heard him when he said
no,
that.
That's not right. That wasn't a throwing day. That was not a day to throw the ball. I get what he's
the
saying.
Same comment you heard. I heard that too.
Yeah, I get what he's saying, but I think sometimes in football we just overthink stuff. The wind was swirling. The ball's not, it's going to be a little wet. It's not a good day to throw the ball. And Stroud was good. CJ Stroud was excellent most of the time.
34 for 49, 394, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Those are great numbers.
But you would agree that it didn't look quite like Ohio State moving down the field.
Well, it's the same thing against Nebraska, though. Same thing. They passed for a lot of yards to Jackson Smith and Jigba against Nebraska. They didn't run the ball very well. And, they could have lost that game in Lincoln. They won by 9 because Nebraska's just inept at times when it matters most. And Michigan is playing with the mission right now.
Yeah, they are.
But it was a very similar defensive game plan for Michigan to what it was for Nebraska against Ohio State.
I think so. Well, what happened with Michigan is pretty clear. They just went back to being a Harbaugh team. We're going to run it. I mean, what are we going to do? We're going to line up and run it at you. Pro sets, and we're coming at you. And as you said, Jake, you're exactly right. The Michigan offensive line brutalized Ohio State.
I mean, they averaged 7.2 yards per carry in that game.
Yeah, Hassan Haskins, who by the way, 6'2", 220. Now, what do I always say?
Big back.
Yeah, he's perfect because he's not. I mean, he's a pretty angular dude. I mean, he's not a big-legged guy that can't run. He's just a tough hombre, right?
Yes.
And you saw the final drive. Oh boy. I mean, he was running like a man possessed. And that's 6'2", 220 coming at you.
Yeah, you're just waiting for the Michigan mistake at that point. They're up by 8. Okay, how do they fumble this or throw it? Throw a pick and give Ohio State a chance? And Haskins like, no, not today, not this time, Buckeyes. We're taking this one home, and we're going to win this game. And they did.
And then afterwards,
they just every time Ohio State scored, they responded. They had the lead, and they responded every single time.
And then Harbaugh afterwards with the classic quote.
Yeah, please read this one.
Yeah, quote of the weekend. Jim Harbaugh was asked after the game if he has thoughts on trash talking from Ohio State, most notably in recent years. He said, and I gotta think this is directed at Ryan Day.
It is.
So, some people were born on third and think they hit a triple. Yeah, Harbaugh's back. The obnoxious Harbaugh's back, which is, I don't know. I have mixed emotions about it, but you tip your cap to them, right? And by the way,
I love that.
Aiden Hutchinson, 3 sacks.
Oh, he was
now.
A beast.
Why is Aiden Hutchinson not getting some Heisman Trophy mention right now? Why is that not happening? Come on, Jake.
Well, he should because this year just doesn't have
That's
the
13
guys.
sacks. He has 13 sacks. Now, Michigan, by the way, I hate to Huskerize everything, but Michigan tends to be everything that Nebraska is not. They have they have not only Aiden Hutchinson, they have David Ojabo.
They have 2 guys almost every year.
Yeah.
It feels like they always have 2 pass rushers
on the edges.
every year.
And what does Aiden Hutchinson do in the biggest game of the year? He gets 3 sacks.
And he was massive in that game.
Yeah, 13 on the year. Ojabo got one late off the other side. But then what does Michigan have? They have that big pounding offensive line, big pounding running game. And yeah, I mean, I know that, but here's the news. Scott's trying to do that. He's trying to recruit big offensive linemen and have a pounding running game. They want to do it. They just got to get the guys.
They don't commit to a running back, though.
Well,
They do roulette at running back.
yeah, but they don't. But no. Be fair. You got to be fair in these conversations. What did Frost say entering the season? We want a go-to back. You got to be fair. They just don't have one. They want one, but they don't have that guy.
Well, that comes right back to your head coach then for not getting that guy.
Well, yeah.
If you want it, then you better find a way to get one.
Right.
In the transfer portal, they tried Marquis Step, but didn't work out for them in terms of being that
But
guy.
they want it. They want a Hassan Haskins. I don't know why they haven't gotten it. I mean, the last time they had it was Amir Abdullah.
It's been too long.
Yeah,
got to have a running back. You can't just
a
keep
go-to one big time running back. Now Michigan did have Blake Corum too.
They had two guys.
Yeah, but when Corum hurt his ankle, had a high ankle sprain. He did play.
He still had he had 8 carries or 6 carries, 87
But
yards.
you didn't see Corum against Nebraska. I don't think you saw him at all.
I thought he played against Nebraska.
Did he?
Yeah.
He
played against Nebraska.
Did Corum play?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did play against Nebraska.
Played against Nebraska.
Yeah, he hasn't played, though. Look at the last few games. He hasn't been playing. And they've been leaning on Haskins because Corum had a high ankle sprain. Maybe he got a carry here and there. And he didn't get many carries on Saturday. How many carries did Corum get on Saturday?
This past one?
Yeah.
He had 6 carries for
carries.
87 yards,
Yeah.
14.5 yards to carry along
he's-
at 55.
Yeah, he had one big run. He's not getting, but Haskins took over when Corum hurt it.
Yeah, he didn't play the last 2 games for them. Against he had one carry for 4 yards against Indiana where he got hurt. Right. And then he didn't play the next 2. But he had before that, 13 carries, 45 yards against Michigan State, 19 for 119 against Northwestern, and then of course 13 for 89 and a touchdown against Nebraska.
Right. So tip your cap to Michigan. Now, Michigan, Iowa, here's the deal. Michigan will not brutalize Iowa's front 7 like it brutalized Ohio State. It won't. I just don't.
Be a tough game.
I didn't say that. Because will Iowa score?
Yeah, they'll score.
You think so?
Yep.
How many? 14?
Yeah, it could be 14.
So 28 to 14, that kind of game.
I don't know if it's be that close or that big of a
You're
blowout.
giving the Hawkeyes more credit than I am.
Well, I just think Iowa shows up. They don't go away.
Ooh, I like it when you praise Iowa.
I'm not trying to praise Iowa, but what I saw Friday is a team that was determined to not have their chance eliminated by themselves. They were going to win that football game.
Bring some more praise for Iowa.
No, I'm not bringing more praise for them.
What you got else? What else you got for Iowa?
I
think
just
Iowa's going to stick in there?
I think they're going to cover 10.5.
Now, here's the deal. You wonder, because of what you established, the scene on that field, how much energy was put into beating Ohio State. Can they get it back?
This feels like to me, Sip, now just a different sport. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like to me several years ago when Wisconsin beat undefeated Kentucky in the Final Four.
Yep.
And that was like the story. And then they lost to Duke in the championship.
Yeah.
Everyone said, this is Wisconsin year. They beat Kentucky.
Yeah.
They're the chosen one. They're going to win the championship.
Yeah.
But no, Duke says not so fast.
Yeah.
We got you. It feels like that. It feels like Michigan thinks they finally got over the hump. We're going to the playoff.
Yeah.
And here comes Kirk Ferentz with this cheesy smile, waving, saying, "Not so fast, my friends.
Yeah, I hear you.
Try again next year."
I hear you. That'll make it interesting. And you're right. You put on the rundown. My dream of Ohio State, Georgia is
it's
done.
dead. Done.
And I think it's largely because that weather that I saw in Ann Arbor. I was like, okay, that favors Michigan. Pounding running game. They're going to keep the ball, which they did really well. And let's see what Chris, not from the Baldwin Shop. Another Chris has.
Second, Chris, you're on early break. Go ahead. Are you there, Chris?
Chris.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Well, the issue with the running backs is ultimately Frost's fault because, what is Wisconsin on? The 4-string running back? These guys develop running backs, and they plug one in. A guy gets injured, they plug one in. Same with Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That happens, especially in the West. You're going to need 3 or 4 running backs, and you just plug them in as one goes down. You bring one up, and they run for 200 yards against Nebraska. Happens pretty much like clockwork. And so it's a matter it's like they don't put emphasis on special teams. It's not a big deal to them, and they don't develop running backs. And they've got to do that. They've got to, so.
Okay, thanks for the
that's
call.
What I got.
Oh no, I got you. Look at what Minnesota did. Minnesota was down to, I don't know, Jake. I think it was 3 and 4. Their 3rd and 4th string guys.
It was.
And they just kept rolling.
Yeah, they beat. Yeah, we mentioned that they beat Wisconsin. That's what allowed Iowa to win the West and go to the Big Ten championship. Wisconsin had this long win streak. I told you I felt weird about that game. I said the other team that's not supposed to win that game usually wins that game. Recently, it feels like, and Minnesota just handled Wisconsin. You know, there's a missed field goal that helped Minnesota out in that game too. But they made their kick to go up by 10, and that was all she wrote in that ball game.
Yeah, well, Wisconsin never got in the end zone, and Braylon Allen, who rushed for 200 plus against Nebraska, 17 carries, 47 yards.
Determined to not make him beat them.
How did that
let them beat him?
I mean, that's Nebraska's defense got leaky late in the season against the run. Now, some of that they're banged up. I mean, that's Damian Daniels didn't play. Deontay Williams didn't play. Caleb Tanner did play. Who else were they without?
I don't know.
Obviously, JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo was a big loss.
Yeah, JoJo was a big loss. And Braylon Allen didn't find rushing room against Minnesota. He didn't find that room against Minnesota that he did against Nebraska. 17 carries, 47 yards.
PJ Fleck.
Well,
PJ,
you give Fleck a lot of credit.
You
got
have to. Yeah.
That
People
program,
like to hate him still, but you got to give him credit,
8
man.
8-4, 6-3. Okay, 8-4 overall, 6-3 in the Big Ten West, and you upend Wisconsin. Yeah, you got it. And there was so much energy. There's so much energy in that program. And by the way, the quarterback's coming back. What's his name?
Tanner Morgan.
Tanner Morgan's coming back for 6 years.
As is Ibrahim, the running back.
Yeah, there'll be a bear.
They're going to be.
They're going to be a bear.
They're going to be a problem next year.
Yeah.
When we come back, song of the day and NFL winners and losers next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Holiday baking. Sounds fun, right? Except, do I really need a special kind of flour? And how much of a difference does it make if I use a different size pan? And the recipe says this should only take me 30 minutes to prepare, but I've been at this for 2 hours and it doesn't look anywhere close to anything edible. So what if this weekend you got your baking done for the entire season? Done. Beatrice Bakery is here for you. With special prices this weekend only from Black Friday to Cyber Monday, forget about it. The more you buy, the more you save. Check them out at BeatriceBakery.com or just head down to their store in downtown Beatrice. Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
Lay the groundwork for more harvesting capacity when you order new John Deere combines and headers during Landmark Implement's early order program. Whether you're looking to improve your existing combine, corn head, or flex draper, or you've been wanting to update to a new model year, now is the time to upgrade. Get the very latest harvesting equipment and technology that fit your operations needs. Get your new John Deere harvest equipment built just the way you want. Contact your local Landmark Implement for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers says let it snow because a white New Year's Eve could mean free jewelry. Shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. And remember, shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels & Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
Have you been to Barn Wood & Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood & Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary. Handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barnwood & Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Here's to days spent roaming and to sleeping beneath the stars, to casting another line and letting time float by. From Shadron State Park to Indian Cave State Park and every recreation area, historical, and state park in between. Here's to your adventures, your memories. Here's to 100 years of your Nebraska state parks. Plan your next trip today at NebraskaParks100.org. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
If
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
he stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just up?
Song of the day, Basket Case by Green Day, which is all Nebraska fans after a 3-9 season. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid?
Song of the day again, Basket Case by Green Day. You are bobbing your head. Hope it's a good rating. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day. You're bobbing your head.
It's a repeat. It's fine. I like the bass in that song. It's fine. I will give that a 6. A 6. Not very creative.
You're bobbing your head, though.
Yeah, it's not
This is
bad.
how creative. I did it for Nebraska fans. We're all basket cases after 3-9.
Let's see what Harrison thinks. Harrison, I gotta think likes it, right?
Why would you say that? Has he ever said he's a Green Day fan? It's not new music. I mean, it is kind of alt music still.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Green
he likes
Day's
it.
alt pop.
I think he's possible he gave it a higher score than I did, which never happened.
you said 6?
6 point.
Oh, I don't think so. I'm going 5-3.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay, 8.1. Popular for a reason.
8.1.
That's his highest score he's ever given. What's going on?
Is that
He
it?
came back strong after Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah. See, he liked it.
It's shocking.
Yeah. He liked it a lot more than I did. I've heard that song a zillion times.
Text line 9.75, 9.8 from Craig, 10 from Brian. Bird in Columbus a 6. Sean in Omaha 7.2. Jennifer says 10. Very appropriate today, Jake. Thank you.
Basket case.
Yep. Brown Magic gives us 7.8, and Jared Wisconsin says 7.8. It is time for NFL Week 12 winners and losers. We start with the winners. Number one winner, yes, I am biased. I don't care. The Miami Dolphins steamrolled the sorry, pathetic Carolina Panthers. And we'll get to the loser. They also have a loser in this game. Don't worry. That's coming up. Dolphins 33-10. It could have been like 41-7. They could have named their point total in this game, which is not common for that offense. The defense is playing lights out the last 4 games. Sacks, on picks, on picks. It's beautiful. A blocked punt for a touchdown to begin the game for the Dolphins scoring.
Wow, really? What's the Dolphins' record now?
5-7, 4 in a row. 4 in a row. For
Okay,
the good guys.
Can they get in the playoffs?
Yes. Oh, yeah. They have the Giants next, who are very average. Then they have the Jets, who are, of course, terrible. 7-7 is right. They started off 1-7. 7-7 is right there. And then the Saints aren't very good. They have the Saints. The Titans are without Derrick Henry. They suck now. And the Patriots. They can win every game the rest of the way.
Hey, this could get exciting for you. Keep rolling.
I
Keep
know.
rolling.
Number 2, the Patriots steamroll. Speaking of the Titans, the Patriots are on a heater. The Titans without Derrick Henry are not the same monster they were with him. 36-13. The Patriots again rout another good team. They are right now the best team in the AFC until the Dolphins keep getting hot and beat them to end the year. Patriots, though, big winner again. Impressive stuff from that running game and that defense. Number 3, the Bengals. I was sitting at a bar yesterday right next to a Bengals fan. He was just in heaven the whole time because the Bengals wallop their rival Steelers 41-10. How about Zach Taylor having a good Sunday for the Bengals there? Big Ben looks worse and worse every week for the Steelers. His arm is just not there. His body is giving out. Joe Burrow looked really good. The defense was excellent for the Bengals. Joe Mixon is on a heater right now on the ground for the Bengals. I think Zach Taylor is doing a good job this year with Cincinnati. So they're number 3 on our winners. Number 4 in the winners. The Packers last night, the game of the weekend, it was the afternoon game on Fox. They beat the Rams 36-28. Matt Stafford, of course, was a little banged up going into that game, but so was Aaron Rodgers' toe, and he just did just fine. A.J. Dillon, replacing the injured Aaron Jones, is still a very, very tough guy to tackle. Had a receiving touchdown. He also had some very effective runs to help end that game. Packers also had a pick 6. Rasul Douglas, pick 6 of Matt Stafford. 3 straight games with a pick 6 thrown by Matt Stafford. They lose 36-28.
Jeez, that's not good.
And the Packers, again, are your winner. Number 5 winner, the Niners, also in the afternoon game. They take down the Vikings by 8. This is a game they led by 14. It was 14-all at halftime. They scored 2 touchdowns in the first 3 minutes of the second half. One was a pick 6, and one was just a quick drive by them. They win that game 36-28, or 34-26, excuse me. Niners are a winner. Biggest loser this week. It's not even close. Cam Newton, you are sad, you are pathetic, and you are cocky for no reason at all. I'm watching this Dolphins game against Carolina.
Yes.
Every time Cam gets a first down, he does a Superman thing or does some sort of flex. Cam, here's your stats from yesterday, buddy. You did have a rushing touchdown. 5 for 21 passing. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he got yanked in the fourth quarter. Keep celebrating because you suck. You are terrible. You're horrible. Cam Newton is awful.
You know, when he starts looking off, when Jake starts looking off into space, he's on a heater.
Cam Newton, I'm not joking. I think he had 5 or 6. I think he had 5 or 6 passes batted down by Lyman at the line of scrimmage.
Man, he's like 6'4", too.
Throw it low delivery.
Yeah.
He sucks. He is horrible. I feel bad for Panthers fans watching that game because that was an atrocity.
Okay.
It was atrocious.
All right, who's another loser?
Okay, number 2 loser, the Browns. The Browns picked off Lamar Jackson 4 times last night and did not win the game. 16-10. The offense is awful. Baker Mayfield again doesn't get it done. Only 1 touchdown in the game, a touchdown pass to David Njoku, the tight end. The running game, they had Kareem Hunt back, didn't really use him. Nick Chubb was ineffective. The Browns are 6-6. They're not as good as they should be, and the quarterback is a big part of that process. And
come on, Baker,
you can't have Baker. You cannot pick off the MVP 4 times and not beat them. I'm sorry, that's why you're a loser. 4 picks, impressive. You got to win that game though. 16-10 Ravens.
Absolutely.
Number 3 loser. This was if you watch this is very sad. Jalen Reagor, receiver for the Eagles. They were down 13-7 to the Giants. It's 4th and 10, like 5 seconds left. Jalen Hurts gets away, throws a pass to the end zone. Reagor's right there. He just drops it. It should be a touchdown. He leaps up. He might get hit, but he's got to catch the ball. It just goes right through his hands. game over. Eagles lose 13-7 to the Giants. That was bad. Number 4, the Chargers were losers. They go to Denver, and they struggle in Denver. They have problems out there. So a couple picks for Justin Herbert. Patrick Surtain ends the game with a pick 6 from 70 yards. 28-13, Chargers lose. And number 5 loser, the Jacksonville Jaguars again. They're playing a very average Falcons team. They never showed up. Lose 21-14. The Jags are bad. They should feel bad about how bad they are. And I feel bad that my team lost to them at some point this year.
Good job.
That ended the season.
That was excellent.
Thank you.
So I'm happy for you that the Dolphins are surging. They're surging.
Surgical.
They're surging, and they're surgical, I guess.
Yes. Top of the hour next, Lincoln Riley has a new home. Where's he headed to, and what does it mean for college football? That's up next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers says let it snow because a white New Year's Eve could mean free jewelry. Shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. And remember, shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sutter Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A beautiful Monday on the way. A little breezy as northwest winds could gust to around 25 this afternoon, but we'll reach up to a high of around 69. Tonight, increasing cloud cover, a low down to 38. A very slight chance of light rain showers early tomorrow. It will be cooler with a high of 55. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the Sidetrack Band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P. At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
The weather has changed, and now it's time to adjust your footwear to change along with it. Stop into Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q to get ready for cooler temperatures and fashion trends. They're stocked with Hey Dudes, Brooks, New Balance, Danner boots, Keen or Merrill hiking boots, and plenty of other options. Plus, they have Nordic beach jackets and Bindle tumblers to take to the gym with your new athletic shoes. So get to Brown Shoe Fit today at 66th and Q.
Go ahead, let it sleet, let it slush, and let it snow. Because the pros at T.O. Haas Tire are ready to help you with a new set of tires guaranteed to get you through it all. Like the complete line of Michelin tires, including the X-Ice Snow Tire. And right now, you can get $70 back when you buy any 4 new Michelin tires at the T.O. Haas Tire near you.
T.O. Haas, Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Monday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Fun show. So far, you got the podcast at theticketfm.com. You can always call or text us at 402-464-5685. Watch and comment on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. And, of course, the show sponsored by Gaina Trucking. Big news this weekend. It wasn't just big, upsets and big games. We didn't even mention, Sip, the 4 overtime game between Auburn and Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama overcomes a 10-0 deficit late that game, forces overtime, and they do win in 4 overtimes by 2 against Auburn. So their season's still alive in terms of their hopes of the playoff. They'll play Georgia this weekend.
Mhm.
If Georgia beats them by like double digits, do they still make the playoff?
2 losses.
Yeah, I know. With a loss the week before to a playoff team.
I'd have to size it up. Don't ask me that right now.
Yes, we'll see.
I need to size it up.
Could be a weekend of chaos again, once again in the playoff
I don't.
standings.
Come on. I mean, maybe we're just overthinking this. They barely beat 6-5 Auburn. They got lucky, really.
They've looked very subpar for an Alabama
I just
team.
don't know if the committee, if they get hammered by Georgia, and they're coming off of an escape against an Auburn team that had been playing horrible defense.
Yep.
I don't.
And they had 0 points halfway through the fourth quarter.
No, I don't know. 2 losses. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, that team that is not a standard Alabama team we've been used to the last 15 years in college football.
All right, let's get to the big news. Although, there's a part of me that says we haven't talked about Logan Smothers. I guess we have all week to do that.
We did. We'll get to that more tomorrow.
Okay,
I
or
think.
later in the show.
Or that, yeah. Okay, so the big news yesterday, Sip, was here I am watching NFL games at the bar. I get on Twitter and say, oh, there's breaking news. This certain coach had said, I'm not going to LSU the night before and lost to Oklahoma State in the Bedlam battle because he's going to USC instead. Lincoln Riley is going to USC. Let's play his new music. No, we're not playing the game show right now. This is for you, Lincoln Riley. There it is. Sip is, if you're watching the video stream, Sip has
the victory sign
celebrating. Lincoln Riley, the newest head coach at USC. This is a huge, huge splash hire for them, and congrats to Lincoln Riley on winning the Pac-12 for the time coming here.
Congratulations to Mike Bone, the
Yes.
USC AD, who I think maybe pulled an end around here. I mean, Lincoln Riley.
Explain that to people.
Well, it's okay. So there was a lot of smoke about Lincoln Riley going to be the next football coach at Louisiana State.
LSU.
LSU, Louisiana State. It makes you wonder if Mike Bone created that scenario to put up a smoke screen because Lincoln Riley told the world Saturday night, I'm definitely not going to be the next head football coach at LSU. Bone created a situation for Riley where he didn't have to lie. I'm not going to be the next head coach at LSU. It's possible that, guys do care about that sometimes. They don't want to have to lie about this stuff. Maybe Bone said, I got this. I'll handle it. And he created the LSU rumor somehow. Maybe. I mean, it makes you wonder, right? Because that was where all the smoke was. And then, wait a second, all the smoke is Lincoln Riley to LSU. And then here comes the end around. Out of the smoke, he goes to USC.
Yeah.
Mike Bone pulls it off. And it makes perfect sense, though. And I know you're going to go into it, and you know why it all makes perfect sense, right? Because Lincoln Riley doesn't necessarily want to go in to what Barry Trammell, friend of the show, calls the SEC, a den of vipers. A den of vipers.
Pretty good description of it, isn't it?
He doesn't want to mess with that.
Why would you?
Well, why do you say that?
Well,
I know what you're saying. I want to hear you say
it. It does feel like more often than not, two teams from the SEC get into the playoff. They have a better chance than any other conference, but it's also easier to just go undefeated in your own conference to get there than going into the den of vipers and having to win all these games against very quality teams in the loaded SEC.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Pac-12, I mean, Oregon is Utah's had a nice run. Oregon is a okay team. But Lincoln Riley is going to say, I'm going to make this back to what it was with Pete Carroll. Why can't I?
You got it.
This was a dynasty.
You got it.
USC in the mid-2000s, early to mid-2000s, was an absolute dynasty. They were in the title game more often than not.
Right.
And they have all the talent in the world out there that UCLA has been beating them for some reason.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Well,
Chip Kelly is a very sad man this morning.
Right. I mean, since Pete Carroll's departure, the Trojans have gone 95-53 with what Barry, by the way, I'm looking at his Barry Trammell's column in the Daily Oklahoman. He calls it a wild collection of coaches. Think about what USC has had since Pete Carroll. Oh, it's a wild collection. Lane Kiffin, Ed Orgeron, Steve Sarkisian, Clay Helton, Dante Williams. Now, they just got a big-time upgrade.
Yeah.
They got Lincoln Riley, who's 55-10 at Oklahoma. I mean,
only 38 years old, too.
Yeah, he's 55-10. By the way, Jake, that's the best winning percentage in Oklahoma football history.
Wow.
That's better than Stoops, who was 798, who, by the way, is going to coach the team in the bowl game.
Love that.
Better than Bud Wilkinson, who was at 826, and better than Switzer, who was at 837. Yeah, Lincoln Riley has put Oklahoma in a double transition. They're transitioning to a new league with a new coach. And that's now what becomes of Oklahoma is the question. All right. Now, obviously, it depends on who they get. But come on. Now, if you're an Oklahoma fan, you feel pretty skittish right now, right?
Yeah. It's still an attractive job. I mean, it's certainly a place
of course it's attractive.
that you can get a great coach.
Okay, now how attractive is it when you just established they're going into the den of vipers?
It's still attractive.
This
it's
is
still a very successful school.
This
very
all
good program.
feels like a comeuppance for Texas and Oklahoma. Like, okay, you're gonna upset the college football world by going to the SEC. Good luck with.
I think Texas is screwed.
But they seem like it.
I think Texas is just plain out screwed.
It seems like it.
Why would you do this to yourself?
You can't take a country club mentality into the SEC.
You can't win in the Big 12 right now, and you're going to go to the SEC and just figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You have been irrelevant for a decade in college football.
Now, Oklahoma, I don't know what what have you heard from Oklahoma? I mean, I'm thinking, I like the idea of Josh Heupel going back there. Now, he's only been at Tennessee 1 year. And Stoops fired him as the offensive coordinator. Bob Stoops fired Josh Heupel. Okay, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Heupel would go back there for $9 million.
I don't think you want him right now.
Are you sure? He's done really well at Tennessee.
He's been there for 1 year. They went 7-5, right?
Yeah,
so it's good. Which is good.
Yeah, take that. They love him at Tennessee. They love him. I know.
I'd be surprised if Oklahoma went that route.
Okay, who would you like?
Why?
Mark Stoops.
I'm not joking when I say this.
Bob Stoops.
Why can't Bob Stoops do it again?
He's 62. I don't know.
He's 61.
Okay, whatever he is, I think he's 62. But I mean, no, I'm not. I think that would be good. I just wonder if would he just go back and do that?
Why wouldn't? Why can't he? Why couldn't he do it?
Well, he's retired. I mean, he retired. Would he come out of the retirement to take the same job?
Let's say that he's going to coach the bowl game. Let's say they win it, and he looks like he's got energy. Why wouldn't he want that job again? It's still a good job. Even though Lincoln Riley's leaving, it's still a good job. He knows it himself. He's coached there for forever.
He might want it. I mean, I don't know. I would tell you this. If I'm the AD, it would give me pause. The guy retired. Are you sure you want to do this? You got the energy?
Bill Snyder retired once too and came back and got K-State very close to going to a championship.
He could do it. He could do it. I guess that would be number one choice. I think. I don't know. It depends who else is available. What about Mark Stoops? I think Mark Stoops is LSU bound. That's what I
think so.
Yeah, and I'm not talking out my what. It's not like I don't talk to other coaches.
How do you think that gets received in LSU?
I don't know.
LSU's fan base.
LSU's a problem area because it's a tough job, and coaches know it. They know that it's like the old Nebraska. If you go 9-4 there, you might get fired. I'm still surprised that they're not. You're not hearing Dave Aranda with that job. Aranda's sticking at Baylor. He resigned with Baylor.
Okay, sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah, Aranda resigned. So who is LSU?
Who else?
So it was
Lincoln
Riley. It seemed like
it sounded like Lincoln Riley or bust.
Well,
and now
I think bust might be Mark Stoops, and then Neil Brown goes to Kentucky.
Okay, well, I like that for Kentucky.
What I'm hearing, and nobody believes it, but like I said, coaching world. I'm talking coaching world. That's the buzz. Stoops to LSU, Neil Brown to Kentucky.
If I'm a Kentucky
Neil
fan,
Brown's at West Virginia.
If I'm a Kentucky fan, I think that's a pretty decent hire. Decent, not great.
Neil
Decent.
Brown,
I like Neil Brown. He was great at Troy. He's been okay at West Virginia. Okay, not great.
Who else going to LSU? Aranda's out off the board.
Okay, Aranda's out.
Aranda's staying at Baylor.
I don't think Matt Campbell's going there.
Okay, I don't either.
Because the rumor's been for Washington for him, right? For Matt Campbell, if he leaves.
I'm going to do a little.
Billy Napier's going to Florida. That's the Lafayette coach. Louisiana Lafayette coach is going to Florida.
It's done. Done yesterday.
Done deal.
Florida hired Billy Napier, who's probably on the cusp of his second conference championship. That's the Sun Belt they're in. Is that right? Yeah, he's in the Sun Belt. Billy Napier, who has the famous quote of the year. I'm blowing it. Scared money ain't good money. Is that what it is? I'll get it. Come on.
Okay, I'm trying to think of other names.
No, I got it.
Other names that could go to LSU. If you have any out there, 4-6.
Scared money don't make money.
Scared
money don't make money. It was 14-3 against Ohio. They had it on the foot line. Louisiana, they had it on the foot line, and again 14-3 at going into halftime. Seconds left. He went for it. Made it 21-3, and they asked him why did you go for it there when you could have kicked a field goal to go up 17-3? He said, "Scared money don't make money." Billy Napier.
Here's a name being mentioned
for LSU.
No. This would be actually for Oklahoma.
No. Let's stay with LSU.
Okay, all right.
Who's being mentioned for LSU?
I don't know where they're going. If it's Mark Stoops, I mean, is that their best option they have right now? Think about it. Is that the question I have?
How about Lane Kiffin? How about Lane Kiffin?
Do you think that's a job he'd want to take?
I don't know.
Ole Miss has it's not low pressure, but it's less pressure than LSU is going to be. I mean, Ole Miss is not expecting national titles every year.
To your credit, Paul Feinbaum is saying you still hear Dave Aranda, even though he's getting a new deal.
Yeah. You heard $12 million they were going to pay for Lincoln Riley, possibly. That was a rumor out there. They'd pay that per year. So they're not scared of paying anybody a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Even if there's an already extension on the books with somewhere else or a deal in place.
This is what Feinbaum said, but I thought it was interesting. Mark Stoops' name was out there as well. But with all due respect to Mark Stoops, I don't think that's the whale that we all gave Scott Woodward credit for reeling in. Scott Woodward, of course, is the LSU AD. Stoops has reportedly been the fallback plan. Okay. But this is what Feinbaum says. Stoops has reportedly been the fallback plan. I'm talking about Mark Stoops here, not Bob. But Mark Stoops, if he were to be offered, might even stay at Kentucky. So that now what he's saying is Aranda, if he stays at Baylor, then it would be Matt Campbell on the board. There you go. That's the answer.
Does Matt Campbell want a job in the SEC?
Does Matt Campbell want the Oklahoma job?
Now that's interesting.
Yes. He could make that move, right?
We had someone text about the Oklahoma job. Is there any chance there's been a guy that's been out there for a long time, never a head coach, but always a hot name, Brent Venables. He's at Clemson right now.
So.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
They wanted to stay out. Boy, Lincoln Riley was not.
There's a reason Venables hasn't been a head coach, okay? And it's not just because he's a good defensive coordinator. I just think he's been passed over a lot of times for probably a reason, right? Saying, I don't know why exactly. Oklahoma, who else you thinking? I like Heupel. I like him.
Heupel.
You got to give me another name.
Well, the thing with Heupel is what's going to back him up is that Lincoln Riley didn't have much coaching experience before he was the head coach. I mean, he was the coordinator, right? So in terms of, if you're talking about a coach that needs a lot of head coach experience, Lincoln Riley did not have that, and he still was very successful. So that helps you out in that department, where Heupel's only been a head coach for a couple years at UCF and now 1 year at Tennessee. Yes, he was good this year at Tennessee, going 7-5 and getting to a bowl game. Kudos to him. I just wonder if that's your top target or not. If there's somebody else above him that they try to go get.
Daily Oklahoman, the Oklahoman newspaper. Who are the candidates?
Well,
Brent Venables.
Okay.
This is for Oklahoma.
Yep.
Brent Venables. Okay, the Clemson defensive coordinator, former defensive coordinator at Oklahoma. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shane Beamer, the South Carolina head coach. This is the Oklahoman newspaper speculating. Shane Beamer, the South Carolina head coach,
a lot of people
served as OU's assistant head coach from 2018 to 20.
There's belief he might be going to Va-Tech, possibly though too.
Okay, they do mention Dave Aranda. Aranda has been a popular name on the coaching carousel. Dennis Dodd reported on Friday that Aranda is expected to sign an extension with Baylor sometime over the next 2 weeks. But I guess that could change. So maybe
sure
you're right.
Could. Yeah, that's why I said that. Don't count Aranda out yet.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think so.
Well, would you count Aranda out at LSU then?
No, I don't count him out for anything.
Yeah. Matt Campbell, another one that they're speculating in Oklahoma. Alex Grinch, the defensive coordinator.
Alex Grinch is going to USC with Lincoln Riley per.
Okay.
This morning I was told.
Okay, so those are the names. The only one we didn't mention was Shane Beamer.
There's a name that was mentioned by Adam Schefter yesterday for the job.
Oh yeah, Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury, the current Arizona Cardinals head coach, is seen per Adam Schefter to be one of the top target, if not the top target, one of the top targets for Oklahoma.
That's splashy. That's a splashy.
I'm just curious. You have the best record in the NFL. Why would you leave right now?
Why do you want to go in the den of vipers, the SEC, the den of vipers?
Yeah.
Why would you? Okay, now I got a question for you. Are some coaches? Does it make the Oklahoma job less appealing? Does Bob Stoops take that job if it's the Big 12? Does Bob Stoops really want to go at age 61 or 62, whatever he is, into the den of vipers?
To answer your question, yes, I think being the SEC makes it less attractive now.
Yes, I do too. Because that's why Lincoln Riley left.
Yes, he did. Yeah. I'm going to go to the Pac-12 where I can win a lot more easily than I can in the SEC.
Yep.
I don't blame him. It's a smart move.
Right. I think we agree. The Oklahoma job is less attractive. The question is, how much less attractive is it? Because maybe Bob Stoops says, Jake, I got a question for you. Why would Bob Stoops want to go into that recruiting world, the SEC?
Yeah.
Why would he want to do that right
That's
now?
the thing that hurts my argument for him, is that this is a guy that's been retired. Now it's going to get even harder in a new conference.
You got to be hungry to go into that situation. You got to be hungry. He retired, Jake.
I know. It makes Stoops seem unlikely.
Yeah, it does. I think you need that, like another coach like Lincoln Riley, who's in his 30s or 40s, who's hungry. You got to, I'm not saying that Bob Stoops isn't, but there's levels of hunger, right? And I got some pretty good evidence that his level might not be as much as some other guys. because he walked away from it at a young age, relatively 50s. He walked away from it, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, doesn't that make you automatically question his hunger level compared to some others?
It does. But I'm with you to go back and what you're saying. Yeah, I do believe that the move to the SEC is making that job way less appealing than what it was for Oklahoma.
Scary for Oklahoma.
Did they expect that? I don't know, but I think that's what's happening right now.
I do. It's like a comeuppance for Texas and Oklahoma. You upset the apple cart. Let's see how it works for you guys.
We're getting a lot of people mentioning that. We'll get to Brandon, who's been waiting for a second on the phone. Hang on, Brandon. But a name that we haven't heard yet, that is still coaching in a different league, that, of course, always comes up when there's big jobs available. Urban Meyer's having a rough time at Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a rough time.
He ain't going to Oklahoma.
Could he go to LSU?
That'd be more likely. That's another job, though. I'm telling you, in the coaching world, you can say what you want. Big stadium, tradition, good recruiting base. That's a tough job because it's rough down there. Boosters are rough. I mean, that's a tough job.
By the way, someone's saying you guys aren't talking enough about how many kids are following Lincoln Riley. So his top 3 players in this upcoming recruiting class are all from California, the same school, I believe, or the same city. All the top 3, his top 3 players in this class are all from California. See ya, they're going to SC. He had a 5-star running back. I think that might be one of the same guys. I mean, if it's not, still, you're losing a 5-star running back that decommitted yesterday.
Well, I know this. He has a 5-star quarterback at Oklahoma from California, a 5-star running back who you're alluding to, and 2 5-star receivers. On the Oklahoma roster, 2 5-star receivers from California, a 5-star running back, and a 5-star quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, he's going to kill it in California.
Yeah, they're going to do just fine. By the way, via Greg in Myrtle Beach, he says Shane Beamer turned down Va-Tech with a public statement last week.
Okay.
So I guess he's still. But
what would Beamer do for you?
If
you're
nothing.
A fan.
Well, if
you're an Oklahoma fan.
If I was at Va-Tech, I'd do a lot. But if I'm at Oklahoma, it doesn't do a lot at all for me. Or LSU.
What would Cliff Kingsbury do?
A lot.
Hello. That's the name. If I'm Joe Castiglione, the AD, I mean, if you're trying to make a splash, isn't that the name?
Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah, that's a pretty big
then
splash.
Who's second?
Maybe. I don't know. It's not Mark Stoops.
Nope.
It's not either.
I'm just saying
that's the same for LSU too. That name might be good, but it's not a splash.
No, it's not a big splash. No, it's not. I'm just telling you what I've heard. Stoops to LSU, Neil Brown to Kentucky.
Okay.
Coaching circles, that's what's going around.
Let's get a call from Brandon. Brandon, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
Good, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Hey, Tip, I just wanted to call in and own up to my my loss. You know, Ohio State let me down, and Michigan and Harbaugh came through.
Yeah, I have to own up too.
The whole thing with this Oklahoma Lincoln Riley issue, and I go back to when we were talking about what Nebraska would have to do if they went after a big named coach for if Scott Frost left or got fired. You kind of laughed at me when I said $15 million a year.
Yeah,
look what LSU supposedly offered Lincoln Riley.
What'd they offer him?
$12 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not that far off. I think you're going to see over the next 5 years that figure keep jumping and jumping for these big name programs.
Yeah.
The other name that I haven't heard yet, I know a lot of people have said Cliff Kingsbury, and you guys obviously stole what I was going to bring up with Urban Meyer. He has the SEC background.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, yes, it will be a tough transition for them. Don't get me wrong, but they are in a good location geographically with Oklahoma, Texas. You could pull those kids from Florida, Georgia, and tell them, hey, yeah, we're a little bit further west, but we're going to be playing all these schools off here to the southeast with you guys. And you can, your parents can drive, come in and watch those games. They're not going to have as much trouble as, say, Nebraska would. But the other one that I haven't heard yet, it'd be interesting to see if his name gets brought up, is Luke Fickell.
Yeah.
Up there at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously having a heck of a year up there. Granted, when he was up at Ohio State, it was kind of rough, but he's turning things around there. It'd be interesting to see if his name ever gets brought up.
Yeah, it is interesting. We haven't even talked about him. Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, what about Fickell, Jake?
Where's his best fit?
Well,
Oklahoma?
we thought it was USC.
Nope.
Okay, because why? Because Mike Bone, the USC athletic director, hired Luke Fickell at Cincinnati.
Right.
So a lot of people thought, okay, that's the fit. Fickell at USC. Okay, scratch that. Is Fickell a fit at LSU? Doesn't feel like it to me. What I've heard about Fickell is he has a very limited scope of where he wants to go. Notre Dame is one. Ohio State is one.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think there's too many others. Where'd Fickell go?
Would Oklahoma want him? Does he want Oklahoma?
I don't know. I thought maybe what was going to happen was Brian Kelly would go to USC and Fickell would go to Notre Dame. Lincoln Riley changed the
whole
conversation,
cycle, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Well, congrats to USC.
Congrats to Mike Bone.
Yeah, big hire there. More next. An early break in the ticket.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels and Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels and Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A beautiful Monday on the way. A little breezy as northwest winds could gust to around 25 this afternoon, but we'll reach up to a high of around 69. Tonight, increasing cloud cover, a low down to 38. A very slight chance of light rain showers early tomorrow. It will be cooler with a high of 55. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Hi, this is Sean Callahan with Koppel Chevrolet GMC. New vehicle production has been increasing, but the lots will not be filling up anytime soon. In fact, most vehicles are being pre-sold and are leaving the same week as they arrive. If you want your new Chevrolet or GMC, this is a great time to build a vehicle and place an order. Our sales team will work right with you to build the exact vehicle you want. At Koppel, we appreciate your business and sell vehicles at a fair price. So come check us out or visit us online at koppelcars.com.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batstoRats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Have you been to Barn Wood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary, handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Go ahead, let it sleet, let it slush, and let it snow. Because the pros at T.O. Haas Tire are ready to help you with a new set of tires guaranteed to get you through it all. Like the complete line of Michelin tires, including the X-Ice Snow Tire. And right now, you can get $70 back when you buy any 4 new Michelin tires at the T.O. Haas Tire near you.
T.O. Haas, Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
We're on the air. Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We have not done enough discussion on Logan Smothers' performance on Friday, so we'll do that right now. You can always call or text 402-464-5685. Logan Smothers' stats were pretty good against Iowa, passing the ball 16 for 22, 198 through the air, no touchdowns, the pick to end the ball game, and 2 sacks along a 40. The impressive throw to Omar Manning getting hit down to the 5-yard line there in that play.
Okay, the stats are the stats. What did you think?
So the question becomes, is this a guy you can build around? Did you see enough? This was basically, whether you like it or not, an audition for him to say, can this guy be someone that is seen as the future, or do we need to go find somebody in the portal? My answer is unclear. Based on what I saw, I don't think he's for sure a guy you can build around.
Can't you give him the opportunity and say to him, you have a chance to be the guy we build around, but we got to go into the portal too?
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do.
I think he'd understand that.
Yeah, I think you have to understand it. And I think that you could see Nebraska go into the portal and get more than one quarterback. I mean, you don't have to limit yourself on this. I mean, you might need to go get 2. Now, I don't know if you can, but, Dylan Gabriel's in the portal, by the way.
Yes, he is.
The UCF quarterback. He went into the portal. Frost recruited Dylan Gabriel to UCF. That's definitely a name to watch. But I think Nebraska's got to go into the portal. Smothers was definitely, I think he benefited from the element of surprise a little bit early. He definitely runs the ball well. I definitely could see him becoming very, very strong running the option.
I agree on that. Yeah, for sure.
He can scoot. I mean, he scoots around that edge in good shape. He's a good runner, runs the ball low and fast, looks good doing it. What Iowa did was interesting, Jake. In the second half, they made a big adjustment. They basically took their linebackers out of the box, and Nebraska still couldn't run it inside the tackles. That's a problem. Now, Smothers, the thing that's not sustainable is Logan Smothers running 24 times in a game.
Absolutely not sustainable.
Not sustainable in the Big Ten. You'll get broken in half at some point.
That's right.
And he's not a big guy either.
No, he's not.
So I thought, here's the deal. Logan Smothers gave Nebraska a chance to win.
He did.
And I thought looked good. He looked like here's about what I expected. He shows really he has good command. He plays with confidence. The numbers were good. The thing that you noticed, though, is when the heat got turned up, then he looked a little different.
Well, it was his first start.
No, it was his first start. Exactly. It was. And that's
against a good defense.
When the fourth quarter came around and Iowa started pressing, he looked a little different,
Understandably so.
Yeah. And the other thing, for sure. And the other thing about Logan is the question going in was arm strength, and the question going out is arm strength. I mean, it was really, really apparent to me standing on the sideline in the last 7 minutes, watching him engineer that final drive. He just doesn't have much zip on the ball, which is, that's fine. He's still a young guy. I would say Logan Smothers has a chance to be the quarterback here going forward based on what I saw.
I'd say a chance. I'm not going to say I sit here and say, well, we have our quarterback for next year.
Right. The fourth quarter had to look a little bit different for us to make that sort of leap, right? The fourth quarter needed to look a little different. And it was, it happened. And now you say, yeah, he's got a chance. And he showed enough to give himself a chance in that conversation. But, come on. It would have been.
Nebraska's drives in the fourth quarter. Here's how they went. They had 4 plays, 29 yards, ended in a fumble. That was Smothers' fumble.
Yes.
Then they had the safety, 2 plays for -7 yards. And they had 3 plays for 4 yards and a punt. And then the last drive, of course, 12 plays, 46 yards. They're moving it, but then the pick that ended it. So it was not a very productive at all fourth quarter for Nebraska.
They were moving it, throwing a lot of sideline routes, which were safe because you have that sideline to kind of as a buffer a little bit, they weren't asking him to throw it down the middle of the field. Then when they did ask him to throw it down the middle of the field, the pick occurred, which I don't know.
Again, some confusion on that play.
Yeah, there was
from him.
It was an option route. Falk broke off the route, and Smothers didn't think he was going to break off the route. So
also that last drive took forever because of all the reviews on that.
Was ridiculous.
Back-to-back plays with Falk, which I thought was a catch, got overturned. It was not a catch. And then Toure, that looked like a catch right away. It was called a catch, but it took forever.
Mm-hmm.
You taking momentum away from the team that's trying to push the ball.
Right.
You're giving the defense a break, and you're hurting the offense that's moving it. So that was a ridiculous final drive. I'm not saying that has any reason what happened. Just I thought it was annoying and how that affected the momentum of Nebraska's offense.
Nebraska's rushing total 43 carries for 129 yards.
3 yards a pop.
Yeah,
on the dot.
You did see Jacques Yant make the start, and he ran 13 times for 44, which was pretty good. That's not bad.
3.4 yards of carry.
But I'm just saying, what I always am going to continue to say is if Nebraska could get a ground game going that they could rely on, a conventional ground game going, it would really take pressure off the quarterback. Quarterback wouldn't have to run 24 times.
Yeah, well, that has not happened.
Right.
I mean, they had Ozigbo the first year,
right,
and they have not had it since.
They haven't had that.
They thought Mills.
Come on, this is more of an offensive line discussion, in my opinion. I think
That's
they have some
That's
backs.
still on you, though, as the coach.
Of course it is. I mean, I'm not assigning blame. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, who the hell else would it be on? I mean, it's not on you. It's not on me.
I don't think it should be, at least.
That's. I guess you can always say that's on the coach. Well, yeah, of course it is. I don't know. I'm trying to think who else you could blame for that.
The guys that have been fired, if you want to, sure, it's your fault, not my fault.
Right, but that's not what we're talking about. The fact is, they just haven't had the. I think it's more of an offensive line issue than a running back issue. Is what I think. That's what I think.
Well,
they just don't have the.
There's no doubt the offensive line has not been good. But
they're not reestablishing the line of scrimmage. I mean, they're not. It's just not happened consistently enough. They do it occasionally, but just come on. You watch Michigan. What'd that look like to you?
That was an offensive line.
Yeah, they bullied.
Hassan Haskins, 5 rushing touchdowns for Michigan. 5.
6'2", 220.
In the rivalry game.
6'2", 220, Hassan Haskins in the fourth quarter looked like he was better than he was in the first quarter.
So to wrap that up, my assessment of Smothers he's fine, but I don't know if I can say he's for sure the guy. I can't say he's not the guy though. I think
that's fair.
He didn't do anything to hamper his ability to take the job next year, but he didn't take it also.
That's fair.
Is that fair? Okay. Let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. This weekend, Sip, is Conference Championship Saturday. So how about this? Players that are playing in Conference Championships. What schools do these guys play for that are going for it all this weekend? 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
464-5685. Call the Nick Down Sip and Trivia again. Players in conference championships this weekend, Sip. So if you know the teams that are playing this weekend, you've got a good chance. If you don't, this might be tough for you. How do you feel about this topic?
I feel pretty good. I'm just going to go with the Billy Napier quote. Scared money don't make money.
All right. On that note, Chris, are you intimidated by Sip today?
Always.
Oh, he's intimidated.
Yeah, I don't know if that Billy Napier quote applied at all, but I'm going with aggression.
Chris.
I'm going with aggression. Thanks, Chris, for calling. Let's do this.
All right, Chris. Again, today's topic: players in conference championships this weekend. What team, Chris, does quarterback Cameron Rising play for?
Oh boy.
Playing for a conference championship this weekend. 5 seconds. Cincinnati.
Pass.
That would be the Utah.
Okay.
Utes. 17 touchdowns and 3 picks this year for Cameron Rising.
I guess that's pretty good.
Yeah, they're on a roll right now. Okay, they're playing
9
Oregon.
and 3.
Yep, they're playing Oregon. Okay, this is For the lead, Sip, your first question. What team does wide receiver Jordan Addison play for, going for a conference championship?
I'll say Wake.
It is not Wake Forest. Do you want that one, Chris, or not?
I do, yeah. I believe he plays for Pitt.
Yeah, the team playing Wake Forest, Pitt. Yeah, he's got, by the way, some 85 catches and 17 touchdowns this year. Says Jordan Addison with Kenny Pickett
85.
chucking him the ball.
85 catches.
Yes.
All right, I'm in trouble.
This is for the win. Chris, your last
I'm in a
question.
heap of trouble.
What team does running back Jerome Ford play for?
Jerome Ford?
Yep.
He plays for Cincinnati.
Indeed, he does. He's got 1,051 yards and 17 rushing touchdowns this year for Cincinnati. Chris, good work to get your bagels. Thanks for calling, and call in down the road.
Thank you.
There we go.
Good job, Chris.
We already have people texting Bagel Boy in the text line.
Yeah, here we go.
0-1 to start the week. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't like
It's
that.
dicey now.
I don't like that kind of pressure.
No, you put it on yourself.
I did not put it on myself. Those are good. Those are fair. You were fair on that. Those are fair names. It was a good topic. What else you got?
You gave me a weird look when I said Cameron Rising, like anybody should know that one. Like nobody should know what I mean.
I didn't.
He's had a good year at Utah. 17 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Yeah.
Took over for Charlie Brewer, who was ineffective and I think got banged
What else
up.
you got?
What team does running back Jalen Warren play for?
Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
I'll just keep going back to Wake.
Oklahoma State. Gundy, 11,
Oh, yeah, I forgot
11
about the Big
touchdowns.
12 title game.
Yeah, that's right. Oklahoma State and Baylor.
Yeah. Okay. How about Gundy, by the way? Getting it done in Bedlam.
Yeah,
I missed that game.
If
Wild finish.
Oklahoma State beats Baylor, I mean, there's going to be a conversation for them to be in the playoff. How could they'd have one loss?
Notre Dame's still in the conversation.
They're still in the conversation.
Yeah.
Like this is not over yet. The playoff is not by no means set right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if Oklahoma State beats Baylor, they're going to be very loud in terms of we should be in.
They got an excellent defense. That's what I know about Oklahoma State.
Which is weird.
Yeah, it is.
For
But
thinking about that program historically.
they've been consistently strong on defense. I don't know what Oklahoma got against them, but that was it from Lincoln Riley.
Yep. Went out a loser to Gundy. Tiebreaker. How many passing yards does Pitt's Kenny Pickett have this year?
Okay. I'll play this game. Kenny Pickett, 3,253.
4,066 yards, 40 touchdowns, 7 picks for Kenny Pickett.
Fifth in looks like he's about fifth right now in the Heisman
Well,
Trophy
if he-
voting. Jake, can you tell me why you wouldn't put Aiden Hutchinson? He should at least go to New York.
This year, I think he should, just because I think there's a lack of great candidates.
Right. Look what happened to Bryce
I
Young
don't
on
think
Saturday.
Bryce Young is an actual candidate for the Heisman. He might make the
going to
ceremony.
New
I don't
York.
think he should be in the conversation to win it, though.
Is this the Ohio State Quarterbacks Award?
C.J. Stroud. I mean,
Yeah,
I
two losses.
Really, if that's your Heisman, I just feel bad about the state of the award.
I think you got to start looking at Hutchinson, a
I
defensive
look
player.
at Pickett a little bit closer.
Okay. All right.
Come on,
All right.
Kenny Pickett.
All right.
40 touchdowns,
Doesn't
7
have to-
picks.
Doesn't have to be a quarterback.
If he wins, if he beats Wake Forest, he better be way up there.
Doesn't have to be a quarterback.
Doesn't have to be, but it's just a year that nobody stands out.
I'm tempted to pick Hutchinson on my ballot. I got a
Well,
ballot.
then you should pick him.
I'm
Please do.
Tempted to put him number one.
Give the
How about him
Wow.
number one, Stroud number two, Pickett number three?
I think you put Pickett above Stroud.
Maybe.
Do that.
You might be able to
The
convince me.
spillover is next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Hi, this is Sean Callahan with Koppel Chevrolet GMC. New vehicle production has been increasing, but the lots will not be filling up anytime soon. In fact, most vehicles are being pre-sold and are leaving the same week as they arrive. If you want your new Chevrolet or GMC, this is a great time to build a vehicle and place an order. Our sales team will work right with you to build the exact vehicle you want. At Koppel, we appreciate your business and sell vehicles at a fair price. So come check us out or visit us online at koppelcars.com.
Have you been to Barnwood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barnwood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary, handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barnwood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. November's beers of the month are from Nebraska Brewing Company, Oscar Blues Dale's Pale Ale, and Avery Brewing. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A beautiful Monday on the way, a little breezy as northwest winds could gust to around 25 this afternoon, but we'll reach up to a high of around 69. Tonight, increasing cloud cover, a low down to 38. A very slight chance of light rain showers early tomorrow. It will be cooler with a high of 55. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The weather has changed, and now it's time to adjust your footwear to change along with it. Stop into Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q to get ready for cooler temperatures and fashion trends. They're stocked with Hey Dudes, Brooks, New Balance, Danner boots, Keen or Merrill hiking boots, and plenty of other options. Plus, they have Nordic beach jackets and bindle tumblers to take to the gym with your new athletic shoes. So get to Brown Shoe Fit today at 66th and Q.
You may be eligible for free 500 megabit internet from Allo if you've been financially impacted during the pandemic or received federal support. This is Brad Moline, president of Allo Communications, and I'm proud to say that Allo is supporting the FCC's Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. We're committed to providing everyone in our fiber communities access to high-quality internet. To find out more, please stop by our Allo store or go to allofiber.com/EBB.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jake. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with just Connor Happer today. No Mike Schaefer. Good morning, Happer.
Hello.
Happer's doing the show solo today.
He is going solo on a big news day. It's a big day for the show.
Are you ready?
You think some stuff's going to happen?
No, just saying the weekend was big. All the hires, fires, and big games. And
Oh, yeah, I got a lot
You got
of stuff to say.
Yeah.
Let's get to that. What he just asked, though. No, I don't. You're talking about Nebraska's coaching
I am.
staff.
Well, I'm talking about players as well.
I don't think we'll get anything. I think we might be a little ways away from anything official from Nebraska as far as their staff goes. It's getting close, though, on a couple guys. So I would watch for that this week. I'm not ruling out today, but I'd be surprised.
Okay.
Adrian.
Yes.
Again, Adrian Martinez. It's going to happen fairly quickly, but I don't know today.
I was almost surprised that it was going to be that
hasn't
wasn't
happened
yesterday.
Yeah.
Or
well, I don't know
Saturday.
that he's made a decision. That's the thing. It's got to happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, but I haven't got your thoughts on this. Do you think the injury at all reset things for him, or at least added another curveball?
Yeah, I do. I think it does.
Yeah. And that was only a week ago.
Yeah.
So that's a whole big decision that, maybe he had come to already that got changed by that Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think I would just say this. I think
Maybe not changed, but just added another wrench into it.
I mean, I know enough behind the scenes. I think he's got a decision to make. It's possible that he's made it at this point now. but there was a decision to make. It wasn't
Yeah.
an easy one. So
What about from Nebraska's side?
What do
Do they want him back?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think they
probably
take him
split,
back.
isn't it?
I just think that everybody knows they got to go into the portal, and you
Definitely have to go into the
and you
portal.
have to have a conversation with Adrian. And I think he's a grown man at this point. You just have to say to him, look, we would love you to come back, but you understand we have a new offensive coordinator coming in, and you're going to have to compete for the job, and you're going to be a little bit behind the 8 ball because it looks like you're not going to get a spring ball. So that's where we're at. But you would welcome him back, I would think, right? I think you would.
Well,
I wonder if
mean,
it's split at all or not.
His
I wonder.
don't you think his presence affects what Nebraska can do in the transfer portal?
Legitimate question. Yeah.
I think
I think all this is about communication. I think Frost has got to communicate to all involved, including the prospective quarterback in the portal, to say, look, yeah, Adrian's still here, but come on, the beauty of the conversation is there's a new offensive coordinator, and you can say to the quarterback in the portal, there's a new guy, there's a new offense. Adrian's on the same plane as you are.
Same head coach, though.
I know, that's true. See, you could say, no, he's not on the same plane. I would say, yes, he's on the same plane because Frost has to make it that way.
Right.
In order to get a good quarterback. He has to put him on the same plane.
Right.
And it has to be convincing. He's got to be convincing.
Definitely. Yeah.
You got to look those guys in the eye and say, listen, new offensive coordinator in town. We got to move fast, and there's going to be competition, real competition. You can do that, I think.
What a time.
Regarding his
gotta move
backup who
fast.
played Friday, Logan Smothers Happer, I guess, what were your thoughts on him? What did you expect from him? And did he surpass that, or do you kind of meet that for your thoughts in the game for him?
Yeah, I would say met. I think we talked about this before the game. I thought what they had to do was create an offense and a game plan that would work specifically for him on that day. And I think they did that. I think they did a pretty good job, and I think he met those expectations. Can you run Logan Smothers 25 times in a game in a season? No, you cannot. So is this a sustainable offense? No, not unless you decide you just want to be a triple option offense, which you could do theoretically, but I don't know that they want to go that route.
You could do it, not win.
I thought that they put together a fine game plan that worked for Logan on Friday. So yeah, I thought he was fine.
Regarding the offseason for him, obviously, does he feel like he has a chance to own this job? I mean, what do you think?
Me. I don't
you
know.
don't think so?
I don't know. But I don't know that I don't know that it's really based off of that game.
Yeah.
Maybe we were offered some hints to that on Friday with what they let him do, with what they kind of allowed him to do. I mean, a lot of 7-yard passes to the sideline, and a lot of running.
Yep.
So if that's the offense they want to run, then yes, he does have a chance. But I don't think it is.
It's just a lot of it's dependent on what kind of offense. We don't even know what kind of offense they're going to.
Yeah, right. I mean, so it's all still up in the air at this point.
Yeah.
I would just be surprised if they decided to do a super duper quarterback heavy run, offense. If it was, then he might be the guy for the job.
Jake, the one thing we didn't do today on the show probably is we didn't talk enough about what's going to happen this week. And it's got to happen quick. This is all got.
How quick we talking here?
Yeah,
there'll be. I would say
about.
by the end of the week, I bet there's some hires. The one thing the media, including myself, we don't really seem to have a good handle on the OC picture. We have a pretty good handle.
I haven't heard much of anything.
It's been pretty quiet, hasn't it?
We have a pretty good handle on what they're doing elsewhere, but it's been really quiet on the OC front. I mean, I wrote it today. I mean, Bill Bush has got a good shot to get that special teams job.
So there is going to be a special teams job.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
I saw what you wrote.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, Frost is everything I'm hearing suggests that he's inclined that way, even though he hasn't said it publicly. I think he's inclined that way. The offensive line coach, I wrote it today. I mean, I know there's smoke, there's serious smoke with Donovan Raiola. I think John Garrison, the former Nebraska center, would like to be in that. He's at North Carolina State.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And I would not rule him out at all. I think Donovan Raiola is definitely on Scott's radar. There's no question in my mind. Donovan Raiola is. He's the Chicago Bears assistant offensive line
Does that
coach.
surprise you that we're that seemingly kind of far down the road there, but then there's still no offensive coordinator?
Well, now here's the thing. They might be far down the road on that. We just don't know it.
But considering
We just don't know it.
Yeah, right. So I guess I
They might have somebody hired for all I know, Happer.
Right.
I mean, we
but
just
I
don't
would
know.
have thought that the offensive coordinator would have had some sort of, pull.
Well, maybe he does.
Maybe he does.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's signed off on all that. That's the great unknown right now. At least I don't know. I guess I can't speak for the entire media corps. I haven't seen anybody writing anything about it.
I haven't even seen one name pop up.
Not
even.
It is
well,
silence.
Jake Peets at LSU had popped up.
But that was the one. Like that was the one earlier where it's like, here's the list of potential guys.
Yeah,
Like, I
and
don't.
I think Jake Peets that was legitimate, and I think one of the parties has moved on. I don't know which one. I can't say for sure which one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
But I wouldn't look for Jake Peets to be their offensive coordinator.
It's a big week and a big, all this stuff, including the quarterback thing. I think, and where that lands, that's probably all in the next, simple 3 to 4 weeks here, month.
Say again.
Month or so before New Year. Everything is going to get kind of reshaped in the next month or so. I would talk about coaching staff, coordinators, all that stuff.
Well, I think the coaching staff has to happen within the next What I'd say 7 days.
You got signing day December 18th, 15th,
December 15th. Now, I would say this one thing that's become crystal clear to me in the last, and you know what? I didn't really delve into this whole coaching thing till this weekend. I just stayed away from it for the most part.
Well, we had a season to deal with.
but
it's kind of important.
Football
but
games.
since I got into it, it became very clear to me why Frost made the move on those 4 guys on his staff when he did. He had to start laying groundwork. What if Frost just started today, the process of trying to hire coaches? Way too late. You had to begin the process when he did.
Well, then it kind of feels like there should have been. We could be further down this road.
Well, I think they're pretty far down the
Okay.
road on some guys. That's the thing. And
just quiet.
Yeah, it's a little quiet. So, yeah, but it's not gonna be quiet much.
Right, but the reason that you do it early is so you can reset the deck as soon as possible,
Right.
especially before signing.
Yeah, there's a threshold, right? I mean, you can't. These things just can't happen automatically. You got to do your due diligence on guys.
Sure.
I mean, you actually want to interview, and Scott doesn't have he doesn't have a wide net out there that he knows a lot of guys. He's just not
No.
that type of guy. So he's kind of young.
He hasn't been very many places, first
Right.
of all, and at the places he's been, he's worked with a lot of the same people.
Mm-hmm. So there's a process that has to happen, and it's happening, and we just got to see if it happens quickly enough. But I wouldn't say right now you could say it either way. We'll see that. We'll see by the end of the week.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hot rock! Red 7, red 7, red 7! Hot rock! Down! Set! Hut!
Lincoln Riley is headed to USC. Who should take his place at Oklahoma, Happer?
Come on, Happer.
We could not figure this
Give
out.
me a Josh
segment.
Heupel. Give me a Josh Heupel.
I don't think that's.
I agree. I see it. We're on the same
Why? Why
page.
don't you like that, Happer?
That's it. I don't dislike it. I would just feel.
I like Heupel.
I don't think that's
Didn't
the guy.
He got fired by
Yeah,
Stoops.
I was going to say.
But they brought in Lincoln Riley. Now, Heupel for $9 million would let bygones be bygones, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right?
But would the fans like it?
I don't think they would.
I don't know.
He's
He's
obviously
one of them.
He
And he's
is.
done well at Tennessee. They really like him at Tennessee.
What's the if you're an Oklahoma fan, what name would satisfy you?
Cliff
Would it-
Kingsbury.
Cliff
Yeah, that's
Kingsbury,
what-
Bob
that's what
Stoops.
Chef
Is
said,
that
yeah.
it?
Yeah, Bob Stoops. I'm not big on
I
this.
think they
The guy
They
retired.
want Bob Stoops back, man.
He's going
They would
into a
love
den of
Bob Stoops.
vipers as a 62-year-old. I don't know if that's what I want.
Barry Alvarez did it.
Not in the Den of Vipers, but
No, you're going in the SEC. Is what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Does Stoops want to wage that war at age 61 or 62?
I don't know.
we think that job is less attractive now than it ever was because the SEC. It's tougher to win for the Oklahoma than it was.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like, how attractive is that job compared to what it was last year?
Not as attractive.
Good luck. Happer and Schaefer is next for Steve Simple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.